Welcome to another Monday live stream. My name is Shane Olson, and we are going to continue working on this guy from last week. We have his clothes to build. I like the way he's turning out. It's a lot of fun. But welcome. And if you'll notice, I'm trying something new. I want to know if you guys like it. Hey, what's up, Neil? See if you notice what it is. I'm not going to be able to stop laughing. I call it the right to bear arms. Anyway, how are you? How's it going, Neil? Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Works out pretty good. All right, so remove it out of my face. So between last Monday and this Monday, I worked on. I couldn't stop last week after I stopped streaming, and I wanted to make the eye cavity planes like flat. You can kind of see them right. There's a little tiny highlight right on his little cheek right there, and it tells me that there's a plane underneath the eye. So I wanted to kind of experiment and get that in there. Also, this little line right here, it's kind of hard to see, but it shows that there's kind of the nose kind of dips down in there before it goes straight out. So I wanted to experiment with that. I don't know if I like that as much, but I might straighten it back out. I kind of liked it better when it was more of a plane rather than a dip. So maybe somewhere in between. I don't know. Anyway. All right. So let's get to his clothing here. Sorry if I'm out of breath. I just ran down the stairs. Are you the only one watching me, Neil? It's pretty quiet today. What's going on? Let me get some music going. It's the hand, isn't it? Hey, what's up, Ivan? There we go. There's people. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Hey, Thomas. Yeah. I thankfully, crossing my fingers that I'm over the cough, done with the cough. So, this hand is it's my bear's hand. So this bear is from my logo, and I reworked his hand so it's kind of posed in a holding a pen position. So it's kind of funny because if I hide my camera, it looks like it's his hand and he's drawing, right? Is that funny? That's funny to me anyway. It cracks me up. And you can see his little hand down on the Cintiq down there at the bottom when it comes up high like this. Anyway, I was cracking up about it. It's a program called Spud Arm, and it essentially you can use a 2D drawing or a render of a hand of some, just a hand. It comes in two pieces, so there's like the main piece and it's cut off at the wrist, and then there's the arm underneath it. So here, let's hide the bear and bring me back. Now it looks like it's my hand, right? Maybe if I'm over here. So anyway, Spud Arm is what it's called. SPUDARM. Anyway, it's kind of fun. So let me know if it like is completely distracting. And of course I have this key thing going on too. So kind of fun. All right. So I'm going to just kind of build up the costuming. I'm going to start usually I start from the outside and go in, but this time I want to start from the inside and go out. So this white collar first, and then build out from there. Okay. For some reason, okay, there it goes. I'm like, it's looking not symmetrical for some reason. I'll make his neck just a little narrower. One second. Hey Steamworks, how you doing? Sorry, I'm just messing with my music again. Okay, there we go. Okay, better. Let's get this collar going. I'm always messing around with stream things. Darth, thank you very much. I know it can be kind of cringy because, you know, the VTubers and whatnot. I was actually thinking about turning my bear into a VTuber just for fun. It could be fun. Just because kind of, you know, that's my lane, right? I do CG characters for a living, and a CG hand making this stuff just makes sense, and it's kind of funny. Okay, so I want something to draw this collar on. Turn Sculptress Pro off. So I'm just going to make a sphere, not an appendage. Here, let me switch coloring so I can see it. Maybe an appendage will work. Split it. Okay. And how is everybody doing today? Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. You know, I might just end up using this geometry that I just made here. And do a different one for the shirt. Yeah, let's do it. And when I'm using geometry like this, if I only want to use, like, you know, from say here to here, I don't want these rounded ends. What I'll usually do is hold down Control plus Shift, as you can see right here, and then if I have this select lasso selected right here, looks like my pointer is slightly off from my brush. I need to adjust that. I love it. I love this hand because you can see what I'm pointing at. Like, I like that. Anyway, this select lasso tool right here. If you hold down Control plus Shift and click on an edge, it will hide it. And let me see, I don't want to go down too far. Maybe right here. Okay, and hide it. And now I have 3 islands. 3 mesh islands. So if I hit auto groups, hypothetically, it should. Why isn't it working? It's supposed to be putting each of those in their own group, but it's not working today. What's going on? I think that's the first time it has never worked. No, I don't want to delete hidden. I mean, I can. But usually it puts each of these islands in its own poly group, but I can do this and this and then delete hidden. It's the same thing. Hey, flatmate, how are you? That's you, Marcus, right? Okay, I can turn on double. And then we can, I want to Z-remesh this at at half. And that will simplify these edges. It's kind of weird, but that's okay because I'm deleting this anyway. Okay. I might end up restarting ZBrush. I've had it open for a while, and sometimes when you leave ZBrush open for a while, it starts doing strange things. Thanks, Marcus. I'd love to see your version of a hand with, you know, that's all shaded the way you shade it. Which I saw your spray paint can. It's awesome. Love it. Okay, let's do this half again. Why is it not going down anymore? That's weird. Okay, well, I guess this is what we get. And then we can do a, I think I might extrude it right away, just so I can crease the corners. Because if I hit dynamic and I add some thickness, it works. I guess that's okay. But it's not shown, it doesn't take it all. See these little orange points? That's where the actual model is. See if I turn it off, it's right there. And I like the actual model and the subdivided thickness model to have, like, match the same. Thanks, Sammy. Thanks, Saika. Yep, we got the bare hand going. Look at, I got the little hair coming off the bottom there. I need to clean that up. There's a little bit of weirdness down there, but okay, so let's take the thickness off just for a second and turn this off. And I was hoping it would go lower than this. What happens if I... No, it's not going to do it. Yeah, it's not me. It's not me doing it anymore. It's the bear's hand. Okay, so I'm just going to just kind of remove some of these edges with the Z Modeler brush. Come on. I'm struggling today. Struggling. Okay. Insert edge. There we go. I just want to simplify this down even more. That's all. There we go. Super simple. Full immersion. Yep. It just kind of looks like, it looks weird when I put my hand over here because it's supposed to be my right hand. Which this is my real right hand, you know? Like down here. Looks kind of weird, but when I go over here, it's like I'm reaching. Doesn't look as nice. Anyway, I like it because it's like, it's always well lit and you can see where I'm pointing. It works out. All right. I want to extrude this out. Extrude, polygroup all. But let me make sure the shape is right. Should I turn on perspective while sculpting? No. Turn on perspective occasionally when you want to check your proportions. But ZBrush works better in orthographic view while you're sculpting. So keep it in orthographic. Just check it once in a while. In other programs, yes, I would sculpt, or not sculpt, but model in perspective. Okay, let's extrude this out now. do a groups by normals, mirror and weld. Get it symmetrical, and then crease polygroups. If you want this custom menu, I give it away for free over on my website, 3D Character Workshop. And it just gives you quick access to all the good menus. So, is there a way to have the gizmo disappear the way the brush radius does when you start drawing? Feels like it's always in the way. So I'm not sure. Like, are you talking about like you want this to go away as you're moving stuff around? Yeah, I don't think there's a way to do that. It's either on or it's off. Okay. And let's do crease level 3, maybe. Take this to 4. Yeah. Okay. There's that piece. Oh yeah, you can make it smaller, I believe. How'd you do that thing? You talking about the hand? It's not native ZBrush at all. No, it is. It's an overlay in OBS, and I'm using a program called Spud Arm, so you can look it up. It's just like a, I don't know. I guess the kids call it VTuber. It's like a VTuber thing. And I just rendered out my bear's hand, and I modeled up a stylus, and then I cut it up and stuck it in the program. And now it basically just follows your stylus around, and it's a green screen. So it's a green screen that's sitting behind ZBrush. So there you go. See this big green screen? And I'm overlaying it in OBS and knocking out the green screen. And same with the see the one down here in front of me right here, this Cintiq and this little hand that's moving right here. Hey, what's up, Brad? It's the same thing but a different window. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's kind of fun. Thanks. I was wondering if people are gonna like it or not. This is a total experiment to see if people like it. I like it because people can see exactly where my hand is and my cursor is. So, yeah, I don't see it on my screen, no. You guys see it, I don't. And also, when I record my video, I can record it without the hand as well, so only live streamers see it, which is kind of cool. Okay, let's make the little white shirt piece down in there. Hey, Tom. Is it possible to do 3D sculpting self-employed? Absolutely. Uh-huh. Hey, Leonard. I've seen like cartoon drawn hands, like 2D hands. I mean, you can essentially make it look like anything you want as long as it stays within the parameters that it asks for. So there's like a pivot point on the wrist. So see how as I drag the hand down, it curls. And as I push it up, it curls up. There's like a hinge on the wrist. So you have to keep that in mind. Okay. Now for this shirt, I'm just going to draw it on here using the Topology Brush. Come on, select this thing. There we go. Because it's essentially just just a triangle, right? And then this little kind of overlapping shirt bit, I'll make that a separate piece. But even though it's a triangle, I like to keep things in quads. Sure, Tom. Yeah, a lot of people I know are full-time freelance sculptors in the business. Especially now that the whole work from home thing is a thing, you know? A little too thick. Okay. What kinds of jobs do they do? All sorts. So, I mean, there are character sculptors, which is that's what I do, right? But then there's also environment sculptors, props, all sorts of stuff. Toys, collectibles, television, film, you name it. Uncrease all. And there's even things you wouldn't normally think of, like jewelry or like there's even scene reenactment stuff for trials, you know, like modeling the environments and the cars and where everybody's at, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So there's lots of opportunity. And characters for miniatures like D&D figures, a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, what's up, James? Welcome. Okay. Let's do group by normals. Mirror and weld, rinse and repeat. And then crease by polygroup. Did it capture those? Yeah, it did. Okay. And subdivide, and now we have a nice clean mesh. And this area will be covered by this bow, but I still want to kind of push it up in here a little bit more. Hey, Gambit. I feel like I'm going to be answering the question over and over and over again about the hand, but that's okay. I don't mind at all. Hey, Tokfan. Do you know if it's common for people who work from home to have those devices that keep the PC running if the power goes out? Yeah, it's called a power backup, and you should have one for sure. And they don't really... they're not meant to keep your PC running. They're meant to keep it running long enough that you can save what you're working on and close your PC down. So, let's see. So this, you were asking about this hand. This hand is, I rendered it out. I sculpted it. It's my bear's hand. I sculpted it and posed it, and then I put it in a program called Spud Arm. So if you want to look it up, it's called Spud Arm. That's how I'm doing it. Do you have to know people to get into the industry? It helps a lot, yes. If I had an art station looking really nice, do you think people would contact me with work? Yes, but you need to be kind of cautious with that, because a lot of people are trying to take advantage of other people right now, and they're reaching out to them with like scams and things like that. So just be super careful. Can I start scripting and continue for 3 months and do better than you? I think by scripting you mean sculpting. And I've been doing this for at least 8 years. So if you think you can get better than me in 3 months, I want to see it. They're really the best for like brownouts. Yeah, for sure. Few seconds more. Power off's time to. Yeah, they're meant more for trying to save. Yeah, and it does protect. It's like a surge protector thing. So. Okay. It may be a prodigy. Yeah, I don't know if you're just trying to if it's a serious question or if you're just trying to troll me. I don't know, but Dolk fan, yeah, yeah, rig one up to a PC and get a workout for sure. Okay, I'm gonna put just a little piece down the front, just this little tiny, just a little stripe here. Yeah, you never know. You know, maybe some people don't quite understand how this works, and they think you can just kind of, you know, just do it. Hey Jay, oh thank you so much. Thanks, Suzars. Okay, let's split this off. I'm gonna solo this just for a second because I want to. The creases are all strange, so I gotta fix them. Yeah, I think the hand's a lot of fun. I like it. I think it would be fun to rig up my bear character and just kind of do some fun VTuber stuff. Hey Andrew, thank you. So let's clear off these creases. Crease poly group. You know what? I'm just gonna uncrease it all. Just have it like this. And then I'm gonna insert some edge loops here. Just so it'll hold those edges better. You worried about AI taking all the jobs? Getting pretty crazy. I don't know if I have an answer for that. It's been blowing my mind lately. I'm not gonna lie. It's quite incredible. And the other day, I don't know if you've seen that YouTube video. I can't remember the name of the channel, but it's like VFX guys. It's like a group of them that has a YouTube channel, and they like, let's try and create this scene from this movie and see what we can do with it with today's technology. Like they'll reenact or remake like a Terminator 2 shot or something like that. Well, they've been playing with the AI stuff and Corridor. Yeah, I think it's those guys. Yeah, they just barely dropped this video like a couple days ago. And basically what they did is they took a UI algorithm thing, and then they basically put those they took pictures of their employees, like their coworkers, a whole bunch of different pictures, and then they put it in with the AI. So they said, what would Dave look like as Batman or something, you know? And it because you can't really do that with the AIs that are out there now. You can't really take extra information and give it to them and say, you know, make this thing. So that I was really blown away by that. It's really incredible what it looks like and how it works and what it does. And it's like, okay, now I can see it being useful and amazing. Did you model those figures in the background? I did. Yeah, I did. And it looks like my camera is a little off. I can't really see all of them, but yeah. Okay, so now I have this layer. I'm going to cover it up with the next layer of clothing. Yeah, scary too, huh? Yeah, I feel more for the like concept artists and stuff. I feel like it might you know, overtake them, and then I feel like the 3D is not far behind. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. Hello from Brazil. What? There's so many different ones. You should like there's one called Crayon, I think. It's spelled kind of weird. There's a whole bunch of them. Okay, so let's make this next layer this dark brown layer right here. We might as well color it. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and hide this piece for a second, just so I can draw this flat. For the sakes. Okay. I'm not drawing anything. Better select the right brush. Okay, let's try that again. Let's see, down. Okay, it doesn't go very far in the back. The bigger collar will cover it, but I just wanted to kind of put this there. Is there actually an AI that can do 3D models? I've seen a few of them, yeah. I've seen one where you can put a picture of your dog in there and it will like model a dog from a 2D image. That's quite impressive to me. Well, hey there, welcome to the stream. AI is super fun to use as reference and then idea building. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I wonder if artists will become like AI inputters to get what they want, you know? I don't know. I don't know what the future is with that. It's really hard to know. Didn't work. There we go. I'm using the Topology Brush, by the way, if you didn't know what this was. It would be depressing for sure. What the heck is that overlay? Oh, thanks. It's my bear's hand that I rendered. I put into a program. It's an overlay. Hey Ian, how you doing? It's an overlay called Spud Arm, and you basically just render out or draw a hand with an arm, and then you have to worry about where the tip of the pen is. And you have to worry about where the pivot of the wrist is, and everything else is, you know, it's like two images. That's all it is. It's two images overlapping each other, and then there's a green screen. So, yeah, AI is learning to write stories. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about all that. You know? Okay, I'm splitting this off here. You know what I like best about this bare hand? I've said it already, but I like that you guys can see where I'm clicking and what I'm doing. Do you guys like that? Is it in the way? Is it too distracting? I'm just curious. Or do you like it because you can see what I'm doing better? Been using Blender for about a year now. Visparl, you're actually watching the official ZBrush live stream channel. So I'm pretty biased and I'm gonna say yes. Okay. Thanks, Preston. I think that AI could be used for common images, but artists will still be needed for new sculpts. For sure. At some point it will be integrated in anyway, so I doubt it all matters. Yeah, it's all interesting to me. We'll see what happens. I was messing with it to actually look for some ideas, personally. And I liked it. Okay, let's do some, rather than adding the thickness here, I'm just going to add it manually. Okay. See, it's so funny. I'm just like, I wonder how many times I'm gonna have to explain what the arm is, but it's fine. I'm gonna shorten my explanation. So it is a rendered hand that I sculpted, I posed, I lit, and I rendered it out. This is the shortened version. No, it's not the shortened version. And then I put it into a program called Spud Arm. It's a funny name for the program. Spud Arm. Thanks, Thomas. Okay, let's see here. Give it some support loops. Thanks. It's just an overlay in OBS. It's like it's a green screen that I'm just knocking out. Thanks. Give me. Okay, let's add another loop to this. Spud. Oh, thanks, Leonard. Spud tablet. So the name of the actual exe that I start every time I start it up. So it would look cool if it was backlit, except for my Cintiq doesn't really light up the backside of my hand. Like I'm using it right now and I'm looking at my hand right now. And since the screen is dark for the most part, it doesn't really light up my hand very much. But otherwise, yeah, that would be a cool idea. And I could render it that way, you know, if you need to. Like if you have a bright screen most of the time. What'd be cool is if it had a reflection. That'd be cool. But I don't think the transparency, because it's green screen, right? And you can't really get good transparency with green screen very well. So I just stick to what it is for now. It's pretty good. Do you have any cool ZBrush tips people might not know? I have a whole bunch of them that I just kind of spout off as I go. Yeah, I don't know any that just like stand directly out to me other than like say if you're smoothing and you let go of shift while you're smoothing, it does a relax. And that's one that not a lot of people know, and it's been in there for quite a while. Hey Kenya, how are you? Thanks. Okay, let's do this collar. This, you can kind of see it's got this secondary collar going around here like this. Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of little things like that. Like this, it's called super smooth. But I have to think of more. Okay, collars, here we go. Trying to decide if I want to do them in 2 pieces. I think I might. Is there an alt smooth? I don't know, is there? Now you have me curious. I'm gonna look at this. This is just something I was messing around with. So what, you add alt to it? I don't know. What does that do? Hey Howie, I just signed up for Shane's 3D character workshop, and it's worth the price of admission. I've learned so much, and Shane is an outstanding teacher. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey Neil, could you grab that comment for me? Sorry, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, oh, that's a good testimonial. Thank you. Yeah, and so I teach an online course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop, and you can go check that out over on my website, 3D Character Workshop. Yeah, see this right here, 3D Character Workshop. Yeah, it's you can go over there and you can grab, see the brushes down here. A lot of these are my custom brushes I give away for free. You can go get those on my website. I think Alt Smooth, it's a brush. Oh, is just the smooth option in reverse? What does that mean in reverse? So instead of like, so it makes it like not smooth? I don't understand. I don't get it. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate it. Shout out to Neil for all he does. Thank you, Neil. Neil's a real person, not a bot. Thanks, Brad. Okay. I keep saying let's do the collar, and I keep, it's like, what? So I'll draw this. I'm trying to decide if I want to do it. Well, I can do it like this. Because you want, when you're using this topology brush, there's a couple things to note about it. When you draw a line, here let me draw it really, really big. Okay, so you can see it has this dotted, it's like a Halloween line. It's orange and black. And the only part of that line that ZBrush cares about is the dots, or the where the 2 lines connect. A little space where they connect. That's all that matters. I think there was some kind of alternate smooth algorithm. I'll have to ask Paul about that. I'm not sure. Huh. Okay. Anyway, so it works better if you have a smaller brush because those tick marks are much smaller, and there's more of a chance that when you draw a line across there, you can't see it unless you hover over it. But see that little green circle right there? That's what you want. You only want it. You should only care about those little green circles. Everything else, it doesn't matter. And it's always fun to prove it. So if I draw a line here and I draw a line here and I go across, I can make this crazy squiggly. I shouldn't cross over itself. And then cross over this line and see how it only made one green dot right here and one green dot right there, even though this line is crazy. That's all it cares about. And so if I draw another line up here, it's going to make a quad because it has those 3 green dots. It really doesn't care about the lines in between. All it cares about are those dots. So essentially while you're drawing these lines, that's all you're doing is defining the dots. Like, where are the dots? Hey, what's up, Ram? Welcome. So anyway, yeah, just kind of be aware of that as you're using the Topology Brush. And see, this is what you don't want. Look at the crazy bunch of green dots right there that just happened. That's not what I want. And you can see it does only have one green dot right here, but it kind of warped this line around. And so I want to draw through this green circle. So I want to go like this. And hopefully, yep, now there's still just one green dot, and that's what I want. Then I can continue that line across. Then when I close it up here and I close it down here, I should get, no, let's try this way. You don't want multiple green dots. If you ever draw and you don't get a poly, like it doesn't make this big orange square, then you most likely are missing dots. Okay, so just hover over the lines and see if you have a big group of dots there or if you have none. So that's the best way to problem solve when you're using the Topology Brush. And then see all these little leaders hanging off here? If you want to clean those up, you can just hold down Alt and drag on the surface, and all of the mess will go away. But you don't want to do that too early. You want to do that after you have all your quads in place. Okay. And then I turn my draw size down to 1 if I want a single-sided surface, or if I want it to add thickness, I can make my brush be however thick I want the end result, tap on the surface, and then it gives me a new surface. See that? But it's being subdivided, dynamically subdivided, that's why it's round. So I can turn that off. But it becomes part of the subtool that you drew it on. So you always need to run a split unmasked points to split those apart. But it still has the original, whatever you drew it on, selected. So I just arrow down on my keyboard, and then you can arrow up and down between subtools, and arrowing down will just select it because when you split it off, it just puts it right underneath the subtool that you drew it on. So that's an easy way to select it. Let me just save this really quick. Okay. And then this takes kind of a long time to save because I'm saving it to my Google Drive just to back it up. Welcome, welcome. What's BSO? Is that a smooth brush? Oh, smooth alt. Okay. I'm gonna have to mess with that. Let's see what it does. Let's see what this mystery brush is. Any tips to sculpt cloth folds? Yeah, there are quite a few tips, but it's quite a deep explanation. Because there are different types of folds, and they look different depending on where they're coming from and what is interacting with them. So my biggest advice would be use reference. And if you can't find reference, make some. So what I mean is, like get a friend of yours, drape them in some clothing that's similar to what you're trying to model, get them into a pose that's similar to what you're trying to model, and then see what the clothing does. And also make sure they're wearing clothing that has the same kind of thickness. Like a sheet is going to bend in a much different way than, like, say, a leather jacket because of the thickness. I'm going to have to okay, I'm going to turn off symmetry and then overlap these pieces. And I can use topological, and that way I'll only affect the first piece that I touch, which is going to be this one. Shane, it's good to watch you on stream. Do you think there's a big chance between a pen display Wacom or basic Wacom without a screen? No. So basically all you need is a tablet with pressure sensitivity. It doesn't need to be a Cintiq. It doesn't need to be a screen. I used a Wacom tablet for, I would say, 15 years of my career before I moved to a Cintiq. And a Cintiq will only make you faster. It won't make you a better artist. And the reason I say that is because there is a direct connection between your hand and the screen. So you'll only have to do your stroke one time for the most part. Whereas if you're using a tablet, then you might have to draw that same stroke a few different times to get it right. And that's the only difference. That's the only reason it speeds you up. Does that make sense? You guys still talking about alt smooths? I'm just going to say right now, regular smooth and the super smooth is all you need. You don't need anything else. Okay. Crank this up a little bit. Turn the crease level down. Okay. Hey, Tattoon, I'm doing well, thanks. Hey, Daniel. Is there a way to join the green circles when they're bunched together using the topology brush? No, there's not. It's you can't like weld them together. You essentially just have to undo it and redraw it, or you have to get rid of them and draw it again. It's fine, Ika. Okay. Yep. How'd I do a hand on my screen? It's software called what is it called again, Leonard? It's Spud Tablet. It's just an overlay in OBS. So if you go look for Spud Tablet, it will give you all the instructions you need to get it figured out and see. Spud Tablet. Thanks, Leonard. Okay. There we go. Just wanting to dial this in a bit. Yeah, this what are you talking about? This is my hand. I have claws on my fingertips. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but this hand has claws on it, like a bear's hand. Hey, Leo, are you still doing mentorship? Kind of. I've kind of put the brakes on it for a minute until I figure out what I want to do with it. Which is funny because there's been a huge Twitter debate about if mentoring should be paid or free. And it's just like, and it was brought up by a professional in the industry saying that all mentoring should be free. I'm just like, wow, okay. That's basically saying every profession should be free, you know, which I don't understand. The bear claw thing. Yeah, they're basically saying that there's like some monetary gatekeeper keeping the people away that couldn't afford it. And I understand that, you know, there's countries and people that don't have the money for stuff like that, but they're acting like a mentorship is the only opportunity to get into the industry, which it's absolutely not. There's so many different ways, including watching YouTube channels for free or watching live streams like the one you're watching now. How much have you learned today? For free, right? So it's just, oh my gosh. I don't understand. Is there a way to modify one subtool that affects the other? You can duplicate subtools, but if you want to modify multiple subtools, you can only really do moving, scaling, or rotating to multiple subtools. If you want to do some other function to multiple, then you have to merge them together. Like if you want to cut them at the same time with a knife brush or something like that. Just asking because I recently graduated from the 3D modeling college but still struggle with some stuff. Would be awesome to have a mentor. You're not the first person to tell me that that's the case, and it makes me sad, honestly, because especially if there's school loans involved, and that's part of the reason I actually made my course, is because I went to one of those 3D art schools, and the same thing, I didn't get the education I really needed. I learned more on my own than I did from the instructors at the school, so yeah, I feel you. And I'm still working on the mentorship and trying to figure out the best way to do it. If I want to just offer it up as a monthly thing, so then you just only have to pay for what you need. Okay, please tell me more on these yellow dots around the subtool. Oh, these dots? These are showing you where the actual mesh is. See, look at this point right here. And then see where the point is now? It's just, when you turn on dynamic subdivisions, it's basically just telling you where the actual mesh is. Does that make sense? The art on your website looks really good, but I was just wondering, does your course start at the very beginning, or is it meant for people with a moderate understanding on how the program works? No, I do have some training for people that are just starting out in ZBrush, like their first day. Okay. Yeah, MJ. Okay. See, now that I subdivide it, you can see a whole bunch. Mine are not well, you have to have a low resolution mesh like this one, and then turn on dynamic subdivisions. That's not real subdivisions, it's dynamic subdivisions. Then it's basically doing a preview of 3 levels of subdivisions and you can find it under, you just hit D. If you don't have any subdivisions on your mesh, you just hit the letter D and it will do it. Okay. One second here. Let me just show you a little bit. So I'm just going to take a second and show you behind the scenes. If you log into the 3D Character Workshop, this is what you see. There's a little intro video. There's weekly challenges. I have 2 communities. I have a forum and a private Discord channel. And then Q&A, live Q&A replays. I do live Q&As once in a while, and then I put the replays up to rewatch. And then this is the original 3D Character Workshop 1.0. And this one's 2.0, so I've recorded more information. This lifetime access as of now. And then I do a full character walkthrough from start to finish game character right here. And then this is an early beginner walkthrough. So this is if it's your first day in ZBrush. I walked my friend Adam and Noah through his first day, and so you could watch that. I have Industry Pro interviews. And then you won't see this. This has gone away. And then this is a new one that I'm working on. Start to finish character walkthrough on how to do a 3D printable character. So that's going right now. So when you go into, say, the weekly challenges, you'll see the weekly challenges over here, like the character blockouts right here. There's character blockouts, anatomy, topology. There's a mini bust challenge. There's stylized hair and fur. There's costuming, props. And there's more to come. So that is that's what it looks like there. And then there's I'll show you the community, the character workshop community. It's a forum for now, and it looks like this. It kind of looks like ZBrush Central, where I have a top row like this, and then you see a bunch of student work right here. Flatmate you saw earlier, he was in here. I don't know if he still is. That's some of his. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Ashley. I had to do it. I had to do it. It makes me laugh. I ran across this person using this 2D hand, and I'm like, man, I wonder what it would look like if I rendered out a hand and put it in there. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's just an overlay in OBS that has a green screen. So dude, you should render out your corgi's paw and just have it. Oh my gosh. It's just rendered, and then all you have to do is pay attention to the pen tip. I mean, you could even have like it doesn't have to be a Wacom pen. That's just what I rendered. I modeled it out in ZBrush, and then I posed it like this, and then the only thing you have to worry or be focused on is the pivot of the wrist. And so the wrist or the hand to the wrist is one image that's overlaying the arm, and the arm is another image. So there's let's see. Oh, I'm working through my way through 3D Character Workshop. When you mentioned doing a head bust versus that is the ice cream vendor, yeah, for sure. It's actually not that complex. You just cut it up in Photoshop. It's just two images. 2 images, yeah. And then it's got, just a PNG. You just drop out the background. It did take some time to do, I'm not going to lie. But I just like how the wrist bends as I go down and how it stretches as I go back and out, It works like your wrist. Yeah, it's just fun. And it's funny because then I can put my bear logo up and hide and look down at the bottom. It looks like he's like so the next step is like full VTuber, right? With an animated bear down there. Which I may or may not do. Oh gosh. Yeah, too funny, right? Anyway. Ugh. I know it's like super cringe, but it's fun. It's fun. And it's kind of what I do, stylized characters, so it fits. How are you? Welcome to the stream. you guys don't know who Ashley is, she's an absolutely incredible artist and live streamer here on the official ZBrush live streams. She digs down into her brain and pulls out fantastic creatures. But what most people don't know is she's like a triple threat. What I mean is, she does these incredible monsters, these creatures during her live stream, like on her day off. And then for her day job, she basically does what I'm doing right here. And just does stylized characters, but way better than mine. There, I said it. I need to do a monster hand. Oh, yes. You should do a monster hand, Ashley. That's your next thing. Ashley, she goes by A-Cube. She's typing in chat right now. Digitally punched in the face. I was watching Twitch one day. One day I was watching Twitch, and I just saw this 2D hand that somebody had in their video, and I'm like, what the heck is that? So I looked into it, and then I made my own hand. Well, a bear's hand, because I thought it was fun and funny. Make a V. Let's see. Need some support loops on this guy. It's funny how crappy a base mesh can be. Sammy, no. I just so happened one day. I do watch one, well, I shouldn't say I watch. I know of one VTuber. Her name is Lena, and she is an amazing ZBrush sculptor that's gone VTuber, and she's got one of the coolest VTuber models out there. She doesn't really model much anymore, which is sad. She's from New Zealand, and she does amazing. You know Lena, right, Ash? Who doesn't? Okay, this is the difference between creases and support loops. I think I have to do creases on this instead of support loops, so let me undo that. Crease it up instead. Right? She's got a personal tie to the whole rib cage thing too. Yeah. Elena Lizette. Hey, what's up, Jared? How are you, man? Speaking of amazing sculptors. I don't know what a VTuber is. A VTuber is basically somebody who makes a model and then, or even a drawing, a 2D drawing, and then sets it up like a puppet. And then usually they'll use like an iPhone or some sort of face tracking, either through their webcam or through an iPhone, track their face, track their movements, and then puppeteer the character through that. And this is bright. Okay, that's better. And then, but the part that makes it cringy is a lot of people will do like their puppets looking like furries and things. So, you know, it can be cringy if you let it. If you go down those roads. Yeah, anime girls. Okay, group by normals, smear and weld. Furries and anime girls, you know. All right. Increase by poly group. And crank it up. Let's bring this down one. That's softer. There we go. they're real. Okay. They're real. You know it. What happened? 2. There we go. I've been using those crease levels more and more these days. So one of my students is a VTuber, and she told me who her the person who rigged up her character was, and I reached out to them just to see if they could rig up my bear, and I might do it. I might do it because it would be fun. Increase this. I mean, I could rig it up too, but who's got time for that? All right, crease, crease. I just figured it, I mean, it kind of makes sense for what I do, you know. I feel like it's less cringy, but is it cringy if I'm still in the crowd? It makes my daughter laugh. That's all I ask for. Hey Francis, how are you, man? Holy cow, it's like everybody. All the amazing sculptors. the hand has no nails. Dude, what are those things on the ends of his fingers? Francis. Can you not see them? They're my bear claws. The first pixelogic for you, VTuber. And how are you, Francis? How are you doing, man? Just have started your course. Omzing, thank you. Awesome. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Just the bones sticking through the flame. Hey, you know, we can get crazy. We can get crazy. It's not cringy. Yes, claws, dude, claws. It's not a furry. Oh my gosh, it sounds like a furry. Hey, what's up, Mark? Well, I've just had this bear for my logo forever. That's why I did it. See, here's my bear logo. This guy right here. That's me. So then it looks like the bear is drawing. But what's funny is he's always looking forward. Like, he doesn't have to look at his hand. He doesn't have to see what's going on. He just looks forward and just makes it happen. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I give myself the same hand when I'm running the video too, like this. So it looks like my hand. The right to bear arms, that's what I like to say. That's the dad joke part of it. He sculpts my sense of smell. Yep. Yeah, Ian, makes me laugh, man. It does. If it makes me laugh, that's all I need. All right, let's do another bit down here. That collar's looking all right. It reminds me of that. Do you remember that meme video with that mom that bought herself a Chewbacca mask and just can't stop laughing? When I first made this arm, I felt like her, man. I was just like, what? This was the funniest thing ever. And I could not stop laughing. So, the idea is so successful. I don't stop looking forward. Yep, just like, oh, I didn't hide my bear. Okay. We're just both hanging out. Yep, the right to bear arms. Oh, goodness. Me and my friend, the bear. The bear was designed by my buddy Jason Kim, by the way. J Kimbot, as he goes by. Fantastic concept artist. He also designed, if you guys ever remember, the ZBrush Summit a long time ago when I participated and I did that that dandelion that was losing its hair. You guys remember that? He concepted that as well. I came up with the idea and he drew it wonderfully, and then I modeled it during the ZBrush Summit and won 3rd place. Hey, that was fun. Off to a meeting. All right. Well, thank you very much for checking out my V-Bear. And I expect to see yours shortly. Monster arms or corgi hand or something. And if you need help setting it up, let me know. Oh, there you go. There's my dandelion. Thanks, Neil. Yeah, there you go. This guy right here. Oh, you guys can't see it, can you? You cannot. Okay, how do I... There. You guys see that? So this is... Oh, geez. Where did it go? It just popped over there for some reason. Okay. Anyway, yeah, this... I can't even... Was it 2016 or something when I made this thing? I can't remember. Yeah, it was fun. You can see it now. Oh. Okay. Anyway, good times. That was fun. I met a lot of people that year and friends with them ever since. It was good times. Okay. Solo this so I can draw just a little extra lapel thingy. All right. How long have we been going? Has it been an hour and 15 minutes already? Really? Okay. So I didn't mean to draw 2 of them. That's okay. You can just auto group if it'll work. Yeah, it worked. Okay. Let's hide that one. And then let's see, let's do auto groups, not auto groups, group by normals. That's what I want. And group by normals, what that does is that puts anything beyond a 45 degree or whatever you set in here. Where is it? Group by normals, right here. This number, 45 degrees. You can change that around, but I usually leave it set to 45 degrees. And it will put everything in its own polygroup. So then you can do a crease by polygroups, which is right here. You can turn this down to like a 2. And what this does is that says hold on to the crease for 2 subdivision levels, and then by the 3rd, let go. So it'll smooth it down. So it'll look like this. Nice and smooth, and then you can crank up the smooth levels like a 4 or a 5, something like that when you're working incredibly low, and then it will look like nice and clean. Did he put up the Shano TV? No way. Okay, so yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look, guys, look at this. He did this a while back for me. I was gonna call my YouTube channel or my Twitch channel Shano TV, and he put 3D glasses on me because it was like 3D character workshop, you know. And yeah, it's pretty funny. But this is kind of the idea where the current bear logo came from. So it's good stuff. Thanks, Neil. Thanks for bringing me back. Jason, he worked for Blizzard for a while. Trying to remember where he's at now. But he's a phenomenal concept artist. Yeah, Shino Vision, we gotta wear your glasses. I could probably put a button there too. Why not? Button. There we go. And all we got to do now is this final big lapel right here, the collar, and then this huge bow. And then I think we can probably tweak some of the hair, like add some more definition to the hair. We'll be almost there. Okay, so let's get that collar done. And I could maybe just use this color here, but I think I'll just redraw it. How did I show my keyboard presses on the screen? It's a program called, I can't remember. Hold on a second. There's my green screen. Let's see. It is Keyviz, Keyviz. Neil, would you mind writing that down so when people ask, I can remember, or you can remember? Okay, there you go, behind the scenes. Topology Brush. Yep. That's the best one I could find. I thought it was pretty nice looking. The buttons are well rendered and the animation's good. Okay. Maybe out to here. And then yeah, Keyviz. Uh-huh. These lapels are always tricky. Is it a lapel? Is that the proper name for it? Collar, lapel? I don't know. Okay, this one I want to do single-sided to start with. Split on mask, go down. Then we'll add dynamic with thickness. Okay. Is that proper, Mark? Pel? Well, thanks, Swamp. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to keep this thickness, move the creases. Binormal, smear and weld. You can see this is just a rinse repeat thing. And then 2. And the thickness down, subdivisions up. And we have a nice clean color that we can then move around. And I really like using this move infinite, because then it grabs both the back side of the lapel and the front side. So you're not leaving the back vertices behind. You just need to be careful when you get your camera too far this way, because it will grab the ones on the other side as well. So just be careful. So I got to be really careful as I make my way up here, because I don't want to grab the stuff that's over. So if I solo this, you can see the camera. If I were to rotate the camera like this and move the vertices here, it would actually move the ones down there too, because move infinite just shoots the move all the way through to everything behind it, everything, not just what's around the brush. So you just kind of have to be careful with it. Use with caution. So I'd rather hide what's going on and then just guess for a minute. Okay. And then from here, now if you snap it to the side, you don't really have to worry, because you do want it to shoot all the way through, both sides all the way, and that's okay. Just want to get this lifted and this dropped. And I'm so used to 3D printing that I try and keep everything kind of smashed down. Let's see, I don't want to use Move Infinite anymore. See, when I used Move Infinite on the side here, it moved everything all the way through. I didn't mean to do that, so I'm going to undo that. Do it again with just the Move brush. I'm not heeding my own advice. I'm just doing whatever. I'm out of control. Character's always good when there's a bear at the controls. Okay, now let's get that bow in there. This is looking weird. I don't think did I turn mirroring off at any point? I must have. Strange. Okay. Unless I accidentally did something with it. Looks like I messed up symmetry back here. So let's just clean it up. Turn off symmetry. Just scoot the offending whatever is going on onto the right side when you're looking at it from the front. Do another mirror and weld and it fixes it right up. There we go. Clean as a whistle. Yeah, you could mask too. I mean, it is an extra step, but right. Let's take a look at what he's looking like. Looking pretty dapper. Let's get that big old bow going. I don't think it'll take me a half an hour to do it, but let's get some music going, huh? Okay. Hey Ivan, how are you? Loving the hand overlay. I've never seen that done before. It's surprising how much it helps me. Nice. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. I wanted to test it out during my live stream and see what people think about it, if it's too obnoxious or in the way. But I do think it helps. I think it helps people know what I'm looking at and what I'm doing. Tell me if I'm wrong. Check it in perspective for a minute. Okay, I do want to kind of push this brown down now that I have everything in place. I think that's okay. I mean, I could paint bring the neck out inside there a little bit, just to make up the difference. Oops. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to put the bow just right on the end of this. Be a little lower. Okay. So to make that knot, it's just a sphere. And when you're inserting multi-meshes, you know, for like these primitive objects up here, if you're inserting them, all you need to worry about, it doesn't matter which subtool you select, as long as it doesn't have real subdivision levels. That's the only kind of caveat that you need to look for. Because an insert mesh, it won't work if you have a mesh that has subdivision levels on it. I remember you were streaming last week. I stream every week. To finish making a worm in Blender. Nice. Okay. So let's just drag this and snap it. And then split unmasked points. Gotten used to it. It would be interesting if you turned it off. Would I miss it? I could turn it off for a second. Let's see. Where's the other one? Tablet overlay? Oh, this right here. Okay. There you go. You miss it? Whoops. Better with it, better without. I think there's an entertainment value to it as well. That's funny. Small question, in which case should I sculpt with perspective? So with ZBrush, you typically want to sculpt with orthographic view, not perspective view. Because if you're doing things like clipping, like with the knife brush or the clip brush, it will take perspective into account. It's better to not do that. It's better to have it in orthographic, so then it'll slice properly through your mesh. Okay. Hands back. Thanks for your input, guys. I really appreciate it. I think it's fun. And I'm glad everybody else does too, so. I was worried about it. I'd be like, oh, it's in the way, it's too much, or, yeah. And you know what's funny? The kid in me is like, I love it because it's puppety. Right? It's like a puppet. It's like I'm driving a puppet. I'm a huge fan of puppets. And I also love that it's always perfectly lit. I don't have to worry about the lighting on it, you know? Okay. Yeah, you can see exactly where I'm reaching, where I'm going, all that stuff. I'm using the old version of my ZBrush, and my ZBrush does not have polygon multiplication smoothing. I don't understand what polygon multiplication smoothing means. Sorry. And you should not be using an old version of ZBrush. As of now, all updates are free, so you could update to the latest. But, you know, you don't have to. But ZBrush has had just whatever regular smoothing since day one, you know? It's had that for a long, long time. I don't think there's anything special about it. Unless you're talking about the alternative smoothing. Does that hand overlay show up on your Cintiq? No, it doesn't. It's only in OBS. It's an overlay in OBS. Now when I'm sculpting, I will be wishing you had it on my screen. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's not on my screen. It's only for you guys. So my actual hand is over my screen. And it's in the way, just like this hand is. And I am right-handed like that, so. Okay. You know, I'm going to tessellate this. Not that much. Can you grab the color from the spotlight image? You sure can. Dynamic subdiv might be what they meant. Ah. Yeah, that's dynamic subdivisions is rather new. So there's something specific about grabbing a color off of your spotlight image. So if you were going to just grab it right now, and you use the hotkey C, you can see it down on my screen if my arm wasn't in the way. See the letter C down there? And it will grab any color on the screen, even from your interface, whatever, but it ignores the spotlight image. So how you can get the spotlight image to show up and be available for color picking is you have to have this wheel showing. And as long as the wheel is showing, then you can eyedrop colors off of the spotlight image. You don't have to click, you just have to hover. See the colors changing as I hover over this? Yeah. So that's how you do it. And then just hit Z or Z when you're done, and it's good to go. It's a good question. I believe there is a left-handed version, but you have to go in. You have to go into there's like an INI file, and you have to mess with the units, like the offset units, to offset it to the opposite side. But you can do it, it's just a little trickier. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, that's kind of a tricky thing if you don't know it, you know? Usually prefer Spotlight or you use Pure Ref? I prefer Spotlight just because I just like having it right here, and I like being able to make it, you know, change the opacity, be able to eyedrop the colors from it right here. You can do all that stuff with Pure Ref as well, but it's just, it feels more cumbersome to me. So I just use Spotlight. It's just one less thing I have to deal with, you know? Hi, exchange students of your course have received the 6-month free Maxon deal offer by now. Yes. If you haven't seen that, send me an email, or just message me in the private Discord channel. Just message me, and I'll send you. You have to send Maxon a support ticket, and they'll get you taken care of. Will it work if I put 2 of my best and last characters in my portfolio and try to apply for jobs? Some people say it's better to. I would just do your best pieces. Yeah, just show. You're basically trying to show companies what you can do. So you want your best pieces in there. Having issues having to open it, but every time to open my scene, Spotlight never saves for me. Yeah, it doesn't save. You can save it right underneath texture, and then you say save Spotlight right here, but it saves it as its own file, and then you load Spotlight right here as its own file. It does not save with the Z tool or the Z project. It has its own save file, so you can save it right here. Yeah. I'm just afraid of them thinking I've got nothing else to show, and that's not enough. This is my opinion, but I think 1 or 2 phenomenal characters is all you need. Somebody might ask you for more, and that's okay, but it's better to show your best stuff and show what you can really do rather than have extra stuff that is not as good as what you're showing. Does that make sense? What feature are you using? Like, what do you mean? I'm gonna try a different brush here. Oh, the hand. The hand is an overlay from a program called Spud Tablet. If you use Z Startup Utility, you can make the Spotlight image load with the file. Yes, you can. Thank you, Mark. So there is an official ZBrush plugin called Z Startup Utility. I actually have a YouTube video on it on my channel to tell you how to grab it and install it. But it's right here called ZBrush Startup Utility. And you can see it says store Spotlight images right here. It will store it and then pull them up on your the next time you open up ZBrush. It won't make it so if you open up another Z tool, the images will come with it. It's just kind of a store and open when you close and open ZBrush. Can you spell the overlay plugin? It's Spud, S-P-U-D. and then tablet. Like another word for a potato. Okay. Let's see, I'm just going to kind of... I missed your question. What was your question? Sorry. Maybe ask it again. The feed is going by. I don't mind. Ask it again. What laptop should I use? ZBrush is rather CPU heavy, and not so much GPU or RAM. So just make sure you have enough CPU, and you should be good. As big as you can afford. I have a question. Is it normal to feel dislike something about learning a new skill? Like, don't get me wrong, I love sculpting. It's just the process takes so long learning fundamentals. I'm trying to understand the question. So, are you saying you don't like? I think it's just a matter of you're not having fun yet, right? So, I always equate learning sculpting kind of like learning a musical instrument, like say a guitar, right? You're trying to learn how to play guitar. And when you first sit down to try and learn how to play guitar, you're just trying to learn how to hold it, how to strum it, how to make finger positions and learn chords and things like that and scales. It's really not fun, right? It's not fun. But the more and more you learn and the more comfortable it gets, the more fun it gets and the more you can explore, right? And it's the exact same with sculpting. And yes, it's normal. It's absolutely normal. You don't typically have fun right out of the box, you know, like your first day. It's more like dabbling. So and that goes with anything creative. Or learning something new. It's just kind of typical learning behavior, right? It's not fun when you're first starting out, usually. Sometimes it can be, but not usually. Yeah, this is Skin Shader 4. And it does come with ZBrush. It's right here. Skin Shade 4. Okay. Okay, I gotta do some adjustments on this thing. Let's do some elastic adjustments. Does that answer your question? I hope so. Does new ZBrush need something that Maxon has made? There's updates. But does it need it? I don't think so. There is a new installer that Maxon has. It's kind of like the Adobe installer, where I don't think you have to use the installer. There's a few ways you can install ZBrush, but it does have an installer. Oops. What's special about Move Elastic? Yeah, I should have explained that. So Move Elastic is an alternative move brush that's very, very spongy, and it has a really big fall off. And it works well for like longer objects, like hair. So for example, with this bow tie, when you want to keep everything that's going on here, but you just want to kind of adjust the overall proportions and things, Move Brush will do this. See how it just kind of moves just where the brush is? And Move Elastic will move further down. Especially if I make it, there you go. See how it's spongier and it has a larger fall off. So it allows you to move things while keeping the detail a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. I think we're done with this guy. Are you considering holding a seminar or meeting in Seattle? No. I've been watching you for a long time, and I want to know if there is a meeting I will attend. I'm not in Seattle. I'm in Utah. So I haven't planned on any live presentations. I teach online. I have a course online that you can learn from. It's called the 3D Character Workshop that you see right here. Which would be better CPU? Say, I follow you and this I will do. I just say the biggest CPU you can afford. Either AMD, Intel, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if it's a laptop or a PC or anything, or if it's a Mac, a Mac M1, those work really well as well. So just look for the largest CPU you can afford. What do you usually sculpt for? Games, film 3D printing? Well, I've been in the game industry for over 20 years, but I'm getting into, I've worked in toys well, I worked on Disney Infinity, so I learned how to make toys, and now I've been doing a lot of freelance making toys, and 3D prints. So like these characters behind me, those are all 3D printed. And that's what I love to do, and that's what I love to teach, is 3D printing and toys. Is it better to have a separate eyelid model in the final topology? For 3D printing, it doesn't matter. For games, you're going to have to do some retopology and tie everything together. But this guy isn't meant for motion, like for animation or anything. It's just meant for like, if I ever 3D print him out, that's what he's meant for. Okay. Wait, could you describe the difference between filters and render sets in the Lightbox? I'm not too familiar with that. Filters happen when you, like, after you render. So you render it, and then you can apply a filter to it. So it's almost like a post process. But I don't know what render sets are. I don't know what you mean by render sets. Hey, Adrian. You worked on Disney Infinity. I'm a big fan of your toy styles. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah. Towards the end there, I was the department head of the character department. So you can see a bunch of the, well, no, you can't. A bunch of the Infinity characters. Oh, there's one right there. There's some there, and there's some right there on my back shelf. Which one are you using? I use an AMD 1700, which is, I feel, is outdated, and I have a Mac M1, and they both work great. In the Lightbox drop down there are filters, and then there are render sets. They look the same but get different results. Yeah, I'm not too familiar. If you ever see like a Paul Gaboury or Michael Pavlovich streaming, I would ask them. I'm not too familiar with that since I don't use it too much. Sorry. Is it okay to have several shapes after retopo, like retopo for each armor part, or is it better to merge it and retopo as one? Typically you want to retopo if it makes sense, but if it's like a piece that's just completely hanging off and not touching, then you'll want to leave it separate. Hey, Wilberth, how are you doing? I love that you're using the bare hand. Thanks, man. It's a lot of fun. There we go. Does he look kind of close? I need to pull that collar down and back a little bit and tighten this up back here. How do you usually check the size of your sculpts, like in centimeters, or that is in another program? No, Andrew, I use it. I do it right here. So I give away my ruler file, and it's specifically for that purpose. So exporting characters with my ruler file. So I have this ruler, and you can get it for free over on my website, 3D Character Workshop. I give it away for free. And it's just this ruler right here, and it's essentially, it has centimeters, millimeters. You can also use it as meters if you want to for games and stuff, but it's mainly used for millimeters. And as long as you keep your model smaller than the ruler and you keep it on the inside, and then if you select your ruler, and then when you use the 3D Print Hub exporter right here, as long as you set this to millimeters and you set this to 200, because it's a 200 millimeter tall ruler. As long as you set that to 200 millimeters and you have your ruler selected, when you hit export to STL, it will be the exact perfect size that you want it. So say your model is like 90 millimeters tall. You just put it next to the ruler, measure out 90 millimeters. And then as long as it's within the bounding box of that ruler and you export it, because everything exports relative to the ruler. So yeah, it works out really well that way. Hello from Jamaica. Hello. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thanks. Oh, how am I doing the arm on the screen? I'm using a program called Spud Arm. Okay, so I think we're done here today, guys. This guy was pretty fun. And you need to still tighten up, like I said, tighten up this collar. There's too much of the under collar showing. But other than that, I think we're good. I think we're pretty good. I like how this guy turned out. Oh, I was gonna do a, see this, the stair stepping on his sideburns here? I wanted to go in and refine and define and straighten that up and get that going, but yeah, it turned out all right. All right, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you, Ian. Really appreciate it. It's been a wonderful time with the bare hand. Thanks for thanks for watching and giving me feedback on it. I like it a lot. I think we'll be using it going forward. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. And as usual, I teach an online course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. And if you want to join us and learn how to make characters like this, you can join us over there, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And I give away my brushes, my ruler, my interface, all for free. So you can go check that out as well over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And thanks so much. What were you saying? Oh, next time model the bear and animate to explain the bear. There you go. Thanks for hanging out, Francis. All right, take care, guys. Have a good one, and we'll catch you same time next Monday. All right, we'll see you then. Take care. We'll see ya.